Yes, sir.
Good morning, guys. Austin here. Hey, we've got another day, another fun time. I'm messing with, the old Subi here. Yesterday, we painted the rear doors, door jambs. Got some hinges left to paint on there. I acid washed the hardware. Fast forward to this morning. Here we are, just getting started. Rolled the car into the shop. We're gonna paint the jambs on the front doors and then start the wiring harness on the inside of the car. And basically just work forward from there. Kind of the boring stuff. Not going to be much to show you guys in video besides swapping a harness. We're going to give you guys a good detailed video on that. Plugs, etc. that change. Things that might be a little hard to unmount with the dash in if you've never done it before. So just stay tuned. We'll get that going. Follow me outside. We've got some doors painted up. Front door with white jambs on the outside. Previous owner spray painted them.
We got new seals.
Yep, and we got some new seals. And then doors that we've painted. So the whole jam is all black all the way around for the most part,
Nice and clean.
So we'll get those mounted up after we get the harness on.
And this hardware is what he was talking about that he acid washed.
Oh, yeah.
So these were like really crusty white that was like flaking off. So we put them in muriatic pool acid overnight just to like sit, which overnight's kind of an overkill. I mean, this stuff starts
2 hours,
working
yeah,
like
2 hours is like where they're peaking at.
exactly. So right now we have the hinges over here in the pool acid bubbling away. And they're getting all cleaned up. All the spray paint should be taken off of those. So they'll look exactly like that hardware over there. And then we can paint them just like a nice black so that they blend in. That's what all this work is for. Something that nobody will even notice. But if it wasn't done, it would be... I mean, nobody wants to look at that. That is just like, why? Why paint that?
Yeah.
That's gross. And it's white. Why? So yeah, that's what we're getting started on. Hopefully we can get those cleaned and done.
I'm gonna start on those here in just a moment.
Yeah, we had to move the car out of here because we didn't want to risk any of the pool acid getting on the cars. So it's just precautions there. But yeah, keep you updated throughout the day. So this is the acid. And what it does.
And we both have respirators on, so make sure you have one on. It's no joke.
We'll show you guys once it's sprayed off, but that's all the old grime bubbling off. I'm trying to stay away because I don't like breathing that stuff. It's a pretty gnarly chemical.
So do not get it on your hands.
Got the last door done. Finally. All the other ones are sitting over here. Austin's getting the trans all cleaned up. That pool acid did a good job on it. This is what it did to the hinges of the doors. Basically stripped them all down. If we would have left them in just a little bit longer, it would have got the rest of the white paint off. So inside here, he's trying to fit his fenders with his new core support that he got, but he bought the wrong core support. That's for a Hawkeye. He needs a blobeye. Got the fenders fitted up, and they are really bad. Like that much freaking body filler or whatever, and then they're all riveted for like every flare option. Like that's for a Carlton flare. That's for like an ABW or some sort of flare. The side skirts fit. That's cool. While he was running to get the bumper and stuff like that, I started trying to get some of the PPF off the hood. And that's a die grinder with Scotch-Brite. And it literally just took the adhesive and just pushed it around until I made it to like metal. So I thought I'd be able to just sand it all off, grind it off, whatever. But it literally just turned into like a gummy paste and pushes it around and clogs up the sanding disc. So we're gonna have to get creative with that. If anybody can't talk. If any of you know of a way to get PPF off when it's in like this bad of a state where it's like cracking, comment below, because I'd prefer not to stand here sanding for that amount of time. I mean, this was like 20 minutes and that it just clogged up the disc. So we need some other option to get it off, huh, Austin? Sticky, disgusting.
Yeah.
Don't let your PPF sit on your car in Arizona for too long like that, because that's a disaster. I think we're getting ready to start doing the harness.
Yeah, I'm just about ready to slap it in there. I'm doing the brake booster and a clutch master.
So once we get going on that,
Cylinder, get all that shit in so I don't have to fight the wiring harness.
yep. We went ahead and painted up his booster too, so it would match the engine bay. It's actually a little bit more glossy, so that looks pretty.
Indeed.
Pretty engine bay.
Hey, you want to push that booster in, actually?
Push it in.
Push it, yeah.
Is it not like all the way flush?
Yeah, it's not even put the studs all the way through.
All right, let me put this down. Here we go.
Woo. Hold on, guys.
Let's try to not scratch the door jambs if we can. Where's my...
That's the part of the harness that we need. Second of all. Hey, separate me right here.
Where?
Cut these two clips real quick. It's this little ass wire holding me together with this and the freaking whatever the hell that is.
Flush cuts.
Snip those two little fucking... There's one right there. And then I don't have to keep... Cool. Alright.
So the big side obviously goes up to the front.
Yep.
And you're gonna need to set the entire harness in the car, just loosely lay it out. We gotta take those fenders back off.
Yeah. Forgot about that. Ouch. Go back.
So that engine bay harness, this needs to get fed through. We should probably start.
Well, I mean, once the harness is sitting up here, we can feed it through. I'm just trying to get the harness on those two stupid things.
Yeah, that should make it a little bit easier. There's...
Oh, yeah.
Remember? Ooh, careful. Those clip in right there.
Yeah, they hook onto here.
Yeah. go.
Cool. So then we need, what is it, 10s?
All the 10 bolts, yeah, probably. That was all that I took out.
Those. And then these are those black plastic.
Which you need that interior bag. Do you know where that's at?
What?
The bag of interior bolts, it's all in there.
Right over there on the floor.
Oh, perfect. Okay. Yep, that should be everything for the interior. I'm gonna set you guys up on the tripod so you can watch, and I'll help Austin. All right.
Oh, OBD plugs, okay.
I'm gonna take this fender off.
Okay.
Where's your socket rail at?
It's right here in the truck, or in the back seat.
So we got a little bit further. My phone died, sorry. So basically, you get the harness strung up where it mounts to the actual chassis itself, and then right after that, you want to get this box in first, slide this box in, and then you got to make sure your drain tube doesn't get caught up behind the box, because when you're putting this box in, it'll pinch it and then you won't be able to find it. That was the first problem that we had, but luckily we thought about it to begin with. And then basically your harness will have memory to it, so if you kind of just let it sit where it wants to sit, the plugs will actually go where they want to go. And so basically this strings over to here, sits over this blend door. You plug that in there, drapes down to here. We need the bar in here to figure out where those mount to, obviously. Well, not obviously, because you guys are trying to learn. This is your ECU plug-in that just kind of drapes on the floor right there. It doesn't really mount to anything. It just sits like that. Once your ECU goes in, all your plugs are sitting right there. And then after this part, this is what strings along the inner door frames around here. We were able to keep those guys intact so that we could re-zip tie them around. Oh. And then right here, you have this harness that comes off from the front, and then you have a secondary harness that plugs in and brings it around here. That's going to be these plugs. The box gets closed up. You have a harness, your airbag harness that goes into the door and comes out right here for the rear doors that we unplugged, obviously, because we took the doors off. And then you have one more plug for your door sensor. Back here, this is the plug that we had to change so that his fuel tank would work correctly. The old harness, it was this plug and then the smaller plug that we showed you in the last video. Then you have, what is that? I think that's your ABS wire goes through. A lot of these tabs, if you can keep these intact and taped to the harness, it helps a lot when you're, trying to put everything back in, because it gives you a spot for it. The ones that we couldn't keep intact obviously have zip ties holding them just to pull it tight. And then up here, you'll have this little foam piece that, keeps airflow in and out of the trunk. This comes up to here, goes down back into the trunk for your third brake light. I think we'll be deleting that. And then back here, it fishes through, goes to that box, comes around, and then you have your first brake light plug there. That comes around to here. You got one ground wire there that needs to get put onto there, and then you're done. That's that side. Right now I think Austin's working on the engine bay plugs that get fished around to here and come out through there. Yeah, I mean, it looks scary and it seems scary, but everything has a place. And once you get it kind of fished around to where you want it to be, it really just falls into place.
Literally.
Yeah, so not too bad. He's getting all the plugs figured out that he's not even gonna have to use half of them. But if we cut them, then
Race car daily driver problems.
yeah, if we cut them, then it could cause further problems. So we'll keep you updated a little bit later. I gotta put my phone back on the charger, but I wanted to show this amount of progress for anyone trying to do this themselves. All right, so we got all the wires coming out from that side of the harness, going up through here, firewall, and then we got the linkage for the steering, and then the other wire wire loom coming out from the inside that obviously forms the fuse panel. He's getting the carpet ready because we have all these wires done. And then here's what the interior looks like. We got the bar in, the under crossbar, all the wires ran that go from the floor back. Airbox is hooked up. He's plugging in the last two that go to the fuse box for the interior.
What's this one?
All right, so we're putting one of the first doors on. Austin's doing the wiring right now. For being different doors, we got the gap pretty even, like first bolt up, so that was nice. Obviously, I think I showed you guys last night, we got the carpet in after the wiring harness. We just tossed one of the seats in there so that we didn't have to sit on the floor. Got the motor and training all set up. Since we don't have a core support, we're gonna drop it in right there. Austin's setting up the
Linkage?
trans linkage.
Shift linkage?
We're gonna drop it right in that hole. That's a motor with a downpipe. Holy crap. Ginger Man, you want to explain what we accomplished tonight?
Oh, not enough, but a lot, you know? Not enough is a relative term. Motor and trans are in, bolted, locked down. Center drive shaft still needs to go in. Downpipe is on, the rest of the exhaust is not. Rest of that stuff we'll get on after we first do the first test fire of the motor, make sure everything's good to go. Brakes are plumbed. The Chase Bay's adjustable brake system is hooked up.
This thing's pretty sweet. You can adjust front to rear. What you want to, what is it like? It's like dampening for the brakes, right?
So basically it's how aggressive front to rear brakes are. So the front's non-adjustable, so it's just same as factory, but the rear you can lessen and or stiffen.
Like stiffen, I guess you'd call
Yeah,
it.
from factory, or soften it less to rear.
Hell yeah, I guess. Well, tomorrow we got to drop the fuel pump in. Plumb out the fuel system a little bit so that we can at least get, you know, air, spark, and fuel when we're testing. I don't know if we're just gonna crank it over. What do you want to do? Like, do you want it to like start, or do you want it to just?
I mean, I'd love for it to start, you know, even just to hear it for a half a second. I mean, I know it runs. I started it when I got the car, and it came from a running car. It just was not running happy with no mass airflow and all that crap that was wrong with it.
Yeah, we got most of the wiring done. That was really simple with this motor. It's 2 plugs and a plug on this side, and then obviously the starter stuff back there.
Trans, yeah.
Yeah, trans stuff. That turbo has definitely seen some heat.
The sad thing is that turbo has less shaft play. It's just ugly as hell on the outside. All the other turbos that we have are freaking got more shaft play than that one.
Yeah.
All 3 of them. I'm like, wow, it's ugly, but it's like the best condition inside.
Little TD04s
Hey.
don't make too much sauce. It'll get you moving. It'll spool fast to about 15 psi.
Hey, daily driver. I got the other car that they'll learn about one of these days.
Yeah, we didn't do. I figured you guys are probably bored with painting stuff, but the trans got sprayed out black just because it was kind of rusty, ugly after we did the acid bath on it. So the rest of the day was just plumbing the brake system, getting little bits and pieces buttoned up, and then we dropped the motor in. So on to another day, one day closer. We threw the rear doors on just to get that out of the way.
I was like, what did we start on today that took us a little while? That's right, we were putting doors back together.
Yep. Austin has some bad news about his driver door. Would you like to tell everybody what happened?
One of the bolts in the door snapped off.
To the hinge.
Chopped off. Top bolt, top hinge, bolt snapped off. So
this one,
not really sure what we're gonna
in
do
the door, is snapped inside the door. So
someone cross-threaded it. I tried to get it out nicely, and it still ended up breaking.
oh, it snapped as soon as we put any tension on it. So it was obviously screwed up prior. We were just the ones that had to do it in. So we're either gonna have to drill it out and then tap it, or get creative with it. I mean, maybe just to have a door so that you can, I don't know. I think it'd be pretty funny to see your ass driving around with no door. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I've never seen that. So we'll probably do that at least once.
Yeah,
just
at least
roll with no door.
We'll definitely do it. You gotta do it for the video.
I mean, the Jeep guys get to do it. It can't
I
it can't be illegal. Yeah, and if your brakes don't work, you can just Flintstone it.
Oh,
wow.
Right. Do I turn around in the seat and drag my feet?
Yeah, exactly. Sit and spin, buddy.
Gotta turn around and slow down.
But yeah, that's what it is so far.
Here's the pump.
Yeah, we got DishWorks 300C going in. That is ethanol compatible. We looked that up, so might get a little bit of flex fuel. A little bit of corn juice for his TD04. Keep those cylinder temperatures down.
Hey, I'll throw some corn at her. She's a fun car.
I mean, That'll definitely get you over the 300 mark. A little bit of corn juice. A little bit of corn juice. So we will keep you guys updated tomorrow. Hopefully we'll have a first start for you. And
Tomorrow will be a late video because I'm going to Phoenix to draw at a course of work. So.
Oh yeah, you need a front end, huh?
I need a front clip. Yeah.
That made it so easy. We literally, I'll put the time lapse in. It's on my Instagram, but we literally just slid the motor and trans back and dropped it in with the motor mounts and bolted the subframe up for the trans, and it was done. Now it's got to be like a 15-minute motor and trans install, and it was nice because we were able to get all the bell housing bolts around the outside, like
Wow, look at that.
nice and tight. We got his turbo secured the way that we wanted to. Like
It
it's
almost looks like we painted the pitch stop because the pitch stop's that almost same color black.
yeah. Oh, the engine bay looks good.
Yeah, I like it.
Looks really good. So, all right. Well, let's clean up
Yeah.
so that we can get back to it tomorrow.
Look around though. At the end of every day, there's less crap piled around.
Yeah, I know, for real. I can't wait to get the doors on, the little bits and pieces I wrapped for you today. We got some.
You show them what's going in for the dash.
Oh yeah, I guess that's pretty special.
They'll like that when it's up on the roof right now.
So we got a flocked black GD dash that I had chilling in my spare parts that we're gonna swap out for that clean guy. It's gonna be going in there. Front seats in, steering wheel. So yeah, we will see you guys tomorrow.